I'm still having trouble with my lighting. I don't know what's going on. I will work on it. How is everyone today? I moved from 2 to 3 for today because Reese was live and I had to see what was going on, if it was anything we could use, and it wasn't. But that's okay. He finished early, so here we are. Divergent, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. How are you? Wait a minute, it's Tuesday. Aren't you? Wait a minute. You were off on Friday. What are you doing home? Talk to me. I'm confused. Leslie, welcome in. How are you? Thank you for coming. It's been a crazy weekend. Oh, you took a vacation day. Girl, see? I knew you. Wait a minute, I knew you weren't supposed to be here. But I'm happy to have you. Thank you for coming. What's going on in your part of the, well, country? Because I'm not in Tennessee. So it's not your part of the state. What's going on in your part of the country? I know they voted in a Republican at their last election, but I blame that on Shady Vance. What else is happening down there? I got to give her a chance to answer. Leslie, what's going on with you out there in, you're in Colorado, aren't you? Or is that Laurie that's in Colorado? Leslie, where are you? You know, I don't remember. And aren't you proud of me? I'm actually waiting for the answers for a change because I get ahead of myself and I get confused. Crystal says she can report one positive thing about our state. We just imposed Savannah's law, the DV registry. Sam, welcome in. Good. It's still morning. Good morning. How are you? What's going on in your part of the world? Because we don't have anybody here from Venezuela, so we can't ask them what they really think about what's going on. This room is carpeted and it is warmer than all of the other rooms in the house. So I'm gonna have to take my socks off because the girl is glistening. Plus, I'm sitting in front of a sunny window. Yay, sun. The room I was in is on the other side of the house, and there was not any sun over there. So I'm happy to have some sun over here. I've been sleeping less soundly of late. Wonder why? You're rolling your eyes. Luckily, you're far enough away that you didn't hear any of that. But yeah, it's on and popping. And shockingly, some of the maggots are angry about that. Oh, oh. Well, good on them. I'm glad they're angry, and that's one thing that we can write about. Oh, I can do that from here. I put some things on the community tab because we can actually write about them. I gotta go over there and find it though. Un momento, por favor. I have to get to the YT from here. Okay, where is my. Okay. Share my screen. Oh, this is going to be fun. I get to talk to myself. Where is my post? Oh, okay. See if I can make this a little bit bigger. There ought to be a button in between, and there's not, which is really just kind of frustrating. Okay, I can make this bigger. No, I can't. Oh, that's awful. Oh, there we go. Okay. Christina was talking today about what's going to happen in Venezuela since we did the deed. And I when after they said that, I've been sitting here wondering, okay, China has contracts with them from the oil. You're going to invade Venezuela, but China's expecting that oil. So is China going to come over here and get us? China has sent down 10,000. Well, some people are blogging that it's 10,000 soldiers. Christina says it's 10,000 lawyers. And I think we're going to be sued by China for thinking that we're going to take over the Venezuelan oil. But it's early days yet. So that's on the community tab. And it's it gives you a different take on what's going on out here in this crazy land. Um, then Reese posted that, oh, I gotta make this big for you. Hold on. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. I move this over so I can keep up with it. Okay. Uh, Trump's ICE goons detained a U.S. citizen for looking Somali and using an illegal chokehold to tackle him to the ground. The man repeatedly begged agents to look at his digital passport ID. I didn't even know they had a digital passport ID. I'm going to have to look into that. But they refused. They drove him 7 miles away before releasing him alone into Minnesota snowstorm and told him to walk home during a freezing weather advisory. Only after fingerprinting him at the detention facility in Fort Snelling did someone check his ID. This is illegal racial profiling, plain and simple. Now, for those of us in the good old US of A, as Christina would say, I don't look Somali, but there are quite a few of us who might be mistaken for Somali. This is serious. And I put a little blurb up there that is something we can write about because A, they're violating our rights. B, they didn't even try to look at his ID. C, they took him to a major snowstorm and told him to walk home. That is cruel and inhumane punishment. And they have a nice little category on there when you write that I don't feel safe. And these are this is a whole scenario where none of us should feel safe. Thoughts? Crystal says, I'm sewing, but here, I miss these lives. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I'm happy to have you. Dinky Jen, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. What's going on in your part of the world? Crystal says, well, we all know the orange one isn't very bright. He can use big words but cannot understand logic. He has trouble saying big words quite often. Yeah, he's oh my gosh. I really have trouble that he's still in office. I really do. Crystal says the Somali thing is just a way for them to target the next shade of brown for racists. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I really do. Roberta, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Roberta has no thoughts. She's numb. I am this really upsets me, especially since they didn't have the consideration to look at his ID. Come on now. And then you're going to tell him to walk home. See, that I was going to say that's kidnapping, but what they have been doing is kidnapping, and all of them should be detained. I'm serious. They should all go to jail. Jen says nothing much, just updating my family tree. Go ahead with your bad self. I'm glad it's peaceful over there. Because it is not peaceful over, well, it's peaceful right here. Pebbly Pooh, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. She says, big orange words. Big, beautiful, best the world has ever seen. I did this. Chris, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Oh, Pebbles, what's going on in your part of the country? I haven't seen anything from where you are lately. Please update us. Chris, hello, hello. She says, I'm never safe, and they're cutting even more. You know what? We can write that letter every week. We really can. Because instead of sending all that money down to where they were and bombing that country, that's not what I pay my tax dollars for. Take that money and put it back into SNAP and WIC and all the other programs that Americans need. Because what he's doing, that's not America first. And he's not helping the little people. The only people benefiting from this are his 1%. And I forgot where I was, but they said since he took office last January, he has accrued $3 billion with a B. That's not America first. That is nothing to be proud of. Roberta says, DC, the Somali thing was a target on Wall's back. He's worried about. Yes, and I saw a thing last night that Wall says he wasn't going to run for re-election. He's going to concentrate on fixing his state. But unless somebody reports these Somalis and their scam to him, how is he supposed to do anything about it? Unless it was a state-run agency where they would have somebody in the state as oversight, there is no way for him to know that these people were scamming the government. That's not on his back. Unless I'm missing something. Darcia, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Happy New Year's. What's going on in your state? Oh, wait a minute. Didn't Georgia just have an election? Atlanta. re-elected the black mayor for another term. Thank you, Atlanta. What else is going on down there, Darcia? Crystal says, since today is my birthday, happy birthday, DC. I'm happy for you because, it's not promised. But ever since that idiot should have left quietly, it has always had chaos around it. So I bunker in. Yeah. Yeah, he thrives on chaos. He really does. And we got our work cut out for us. All the maggots are because they want to like him, but the cult says no. They're learning. I am so happy they're learning and they're standing firm. Congress went back into session today. And yesterday, or is it today? Today was MTG's last day. One down. Well, we got two down. We're going to do that in a minute. Oh, Darcy is giving you a cake, but she took a piece. That's okay. Crystal has a good heart. She does not mind sharing. Chris says, when are arrests coming for the leadership? I got into trouble today on Monique Presley's live because she was talking about Venezuela, and she says, how would we feel if, Venezuela retaliates and comes over here and takes 47 and his wife and puts them on trial? And I said, let them have them. I'm okay with that. Come, take them away. Bye. And she laughed. She said she agrees, but she doesn't like the idea of people coming in, invading the country, which is a scary thing. If we're going to have retaliation, which is another letter we can write, because on the same vein that I don't feel safe, there is a good chance we're going to have retaliation, even if China is sending in lawyers. And I think that's so funny for the man who likes to sue everybody. Yes. Because, yeah, he needs to be sued. And the other thing is the hypocrisy. He's going to put Maduro on trial for drug trafficking when he pardoned the president of Honduras who was drug trafficking. Now, mind you, Maduro is not a nice man, but still, he didn't go in there for the right reason. And he was supposed to be the president of peace. Looking for lightning. Leslie. Now, I'm going late, and the trash man still waited until I went live to come by. Leslie said, needed a room stop, but had you in my ear. Oh, yeah, that's very important. I'm in California and trying to understand 900 plus laws that became official January the 1st. I'm not even trying to understand because my poor old feeble brain can't handle it. That's right. You're in Northern California, aren't you? So Laurie's in Colorado. I knew it was one of you L ladies. I at least had you going west. Yeah, we can do that question every week. We need more money in the social programs. We don't need more money for ICE. We don't need more money for the military. We don't need to go bombing people. We don't need to be paying these private jails. We need to bring the brown people back from El Salvador instead of paying them to house immigrants. And it's not even the gang. They're just plain immigrants. There's, I want my money back. I want a refund. Chris says, did y'all get to Walmart moving away from the U.S.? No, I did not. Where they think they're going? I had not heard that. Tell me more. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Crystal. Happy birthday to you. It was, see, I was getting there, but we're going to do that now. It was Doug LaMalfa from California. He is in the first ward, and he, poor man, he died during emergency surgery at Chico Hospital, the sheriff says. And he was a Republican, so we have another Republican seat open that hopefully we can put a Democrat in. Crossing our fingers. Leslie, you need to talk to your people out there, please and thank you. please and thank you. Crystal says, I have to say I respect MTG because that took balls, and also I suggest a fun podcast, The Necessary Conversation. Really? Okay. Podcast, The Necessary Conversation. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Relives? Who's relives? Couples, you heard something about it? Oh, because the tariffs are killing them? Oh. You're in Southern California. Or what's his face was in Southern California. Let me back up here. Eh, okay, he is in the first congressional district. I remember that part. You're in Southern California. I feel like the war we just pulled out of is restarting. He is very similar but worse than GB Jr. Mm, mm, mm. The problem is he's doing this as a diversion because they were ordered to release the Steam files. And as long as he keeps everybody distracted with Maduro and Venezuela and bombing everybody and going after Cuba and Colombia and Puerto Rico and all the places that he wants, Greenland, uh, he puts enough stuff on everybody's plate, then they won't focus on the Steam files. But you've got a whole committee that is worried about nothing. Well, they're concentrating on the Steam files. So he's just trying to throw rocks into the water. Some are good and some are just dumb. Yeah, yeah. The premises of the podcast is conservative parents and progressive adult kids talk about the state of the government and both share their viewpoint, warning the day is a butt. I, I'm trying to figure out how to say this nicely without sounding like a bigot, and I can't figure out a way to do it. They're it's one thing to be conservative. It's another to be a zealot and a white supremacist. And a lot of these are homegrown and indoctrinated from birth. To get them to change their minds and to see another viewpoint is almost impossible. They don't, a lot of them don't have that moral compass that, oh, that's bad. We shouldn't do that. It's like, oh, but we've always done it this way, so this is what we're going to do. I'll listen to it. I'll see what I think about it. I have a feeling that it's just gonna make me angry, but I'll give it a chance and I'll see. But it sounds like a big debate, and you can beat the same dead horse and still not get anything done. Do they ever? And they say the day is a but do they ever come out with a something positive that you can actually do to make that particular situation better? Because talking for talking's sake is what the politicians do. Gotcha. Thank you. Okay, gotcha, Chris. Gotcha. I agree. If they want to swoop in I'm here for it. I'll throw them the keys. Darcia says 4 seats are open, I think, on the GOP side and 2 on the Dem side. Are all of them in Georgia or just in the U.S.? Ooh, we got 6 seats. Yay, yay, yay. Dad ops. Oh, oh, okay. Valjean, he wants the oil plus throwing shade on the Epstein files. Let me see the files. Yep, 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 he does. Me, a bigot? I know. I'm not a bigot. I was trying to figure out how to say it so I didn't sound like a bigot because right now I'm mad at the conservatives and it's like no matter what they say, I'm still going to be mad at them. And I'm trying not to. I was trying to get to the point where they're raised that way. And yeah, you got to start when they're young, but I don't know. He's not a bigot if there is truth. It's not a bigot if there is truth. Oh, okay. Oh, now that's a way to look at it. I had not heard that. It's not a bigot if there is truth. Okay. Thank you. Roberta says Darcia, he's after the oil for the companies that donated billions to him. Yes, he is. And for all and thank you and thank both of you because that was I had forgotten I wanted to put that out on the table as well. For all of his campaign promises, he has broken most of them. But for the oil companies that donated billions, he's going to fulfill that promise and get them Venezuelan oil. What about the promise that he was going to lower drug costs? He was going to lower inflation. He was going to make America affordable again. What about those campaign promises? The oil companies is the only, and I'm sorry, deporting all of the immigrants. Those are the only two promises he's going to stand behind. Really? Oil not necessarily processed. Oh, it's not easily processed. I think their oil is supposed to be more pure than ours. And we have oil reserves, but we only allow so much drilling. And that drill, baby, drill, they're like, no, we're not going to do all that. So he wants to go. But China has a contract on that oil, and China has said no. I'm glad we didn't lose any American lives in this operation, because this is a mess. No, just 4 seats in total. Two GOP. Oh, four in total. Two GOP and two Dems, and yes, the U.S. Oh, so if we could flip those 4 seats to Dems, we've got the majority. Because we were only three behind, weren't we? Hold on, sorry. And didn't turn off the alarm. Have anything else going on? Nope, that's the last one. Okay. Roberta says sometimes, VJ, you just have to say it and people will take it as they want. There is that. But I don't want to berate bigots and then come off as a bigot myself. It's kind of like the pot calling the skillet black. Yeah, no, I've got. Okay. My honest theory is, and even though I don't know who they are, I have too many Southern whites on my family tree to uh, be racist against the other race, because I don't know who's really family. I can get mad at you for what you've done to me. I can get mad at you for what you stand for, but I'm not going to get mad at you for the color of your skin. And it's just that simple. I had one person from Haiti reprimand me because I was going to take my Girl Scouts to the St. Patrick's Day parade. And he's like, why are you going to go to the St. Patrick's Day parade? You don't see any Irish coming to celebrate with us. I said, that's not the point. I'm giving the girls a different experience. I can't control what they do. But, I can't be mad at them either, because I might be related to some of them. And if they don't want to accept me as kin, that's on them. I don't care. It's not going to change who I am. But having white ancestors makes me who I am, and who am I going to cut off the tree? Anybody I cut off the tree is going to change who I am. It doesn't define me. It just is. It's just a fact. Crystal says, but people can change when they have to keep looking at themselves in the mirror. My reason for saying this is I grew up where one side of my family was very racist, and no, I don't claim them. You're right. People can. You're right. People can change, and yeah, when I was working in the hospital, I did inadvertently change a racist just doing my normal job, because he's like, you treated me like everybody else, and I'm like, yeah. Why wouldn't I? And he says, because I'm not black. I was like, okay. He's like, wow, you're really nice. And he's like, I used to, I hated all blacks, but you've changed my mind. And I'm like, okay, thank you. I'm glad I was able to change your mind, even though I didn't do anything any differently. You treat people the way you want to be treated. And we seem to have a problem with that. Crystal says, yet he can open the Colorado pipelines. Yet he can open the Colorado pipeline project to get clean water to people because it isn't oil. Um, I don't know. I don't know what the okay. You're gonna have to educate me. What's the Colorado pipeline project? And when you talk about clean water, I'm still unhappy about Flint, Michigan. Why do those people not have clean water in the 21st century? And this has been going on for years. I don't understand why it's such a problem to get these people's water clean. I am so confused. Chris says we can't use the oil without refining more. Here or from Venezuela? Because he wants, what did he say this morning? He said that Venezuela's infrastructure is crap, and he's going to send down the oil companies that are going to pour in billions of dollars, and they are going to restructure the infrastructure so that they can start pumping oil again. And it's not going to cost us much because the oil companies are going to pay for it. And I sat there listening to him go, and I was like, okay, is that like the 50-year mortgage where you're going to pay less per year, but you're going to pay more overall? I don't think there's anything that we mine or drill that does not have to be refined. Because the coal, you have to sort it from the rock. The rocks you have to get into shape because the rocks aren't always pure, and you have to separate the diamonds from the rock. Everything's got to have something done to it. And then our oil has to be refined, and it's a different weight for our cars. But he doesn't know anything about any of that. Sam says, well, according to 47, he has lowered costs and made life affordable, even though he claims affordability is a dim hoax. He claims he has lowered inflation and petrol and egg prices. And he claims that gas is under $2 a gallon. Although he can't drive and he's never pumped gas, he claims that it's under $2 a gallon. Mm-hmm. Roberta says there's a whole lesson on the oil things. It's a good hour of explaining. Oh my gosh. Where you want me to sit and listen to them talk about oil for an hour? I just want to pump the gas. And they don't even let us have I used to have propane heaters, and the propane tank had to sit out on the parking lot, and you'd go in with your little container, and they'd go out and pump the propane and come back. That's when I got it from the hardware store. Then I discovered that certain filling stations had propane, and I could just drive up and fill my car with gas and fill my little containers with the propane and drive home. But now they have the tanks. You take them to the store and you put your empty tank in one place and pay for a full tank. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Sam says he has also claimed medication prices are going to reduce by up to 800%, which would mean medication companies will be paying you to take the meds. I sat there listening to him one day talking about something was going to come down by 200%. And I was sitting there thinking, if you have 100%, isn't that the total? So how do you get more than the total? But that was giving me a headache. I was like, I don't think that's right. Darcia says, even though the orange guy said we can run Venezuela, he didn't say how. My opinion, he can't run the U.S., let alone another country. Yeah, we've been saying that all along. And somebody asked him if he was going to make that the lady that won the Nobel Peace Prize the president of Venezuela, and he's like, oh no, she can't handle it. She doesn't have the following for that. I'm like, Lord, help, 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 help. So he was like, I'm going to send down the oil companies and they're going to run it. Another country run by people who are not qualified. Roberta says, how are they going to learn about other cultures if they only stay within their own? Exactly. Exactly. And he would order Haitian newspapers, which were in French, and he read them every day. And people would, want to have these conversations with him because they're like, you're in America, you need to do American politics if you're going to do politics. And he would sit there trying to explain them, and he did not have the English wording for it. So I don't know why, but he would come and he would tell me what he wanted to say in French. Like, I don't speak French. But somehow or other, I was able to get his message across in English. I don't know. I took Spanish in school and everybody wants to speak French to me. I don't get it. And I don't know how I was able to do it. It was like I understood the Nigerians when they were speaking their language, and but I don't speak any Nigerian. Mint can't type Queen Lives. Mint can't typo Queen Lives. You said, okay, yet he can't open the Colorado pipeline project to get clean water to people because it isn't oil. Okay, 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 okay. So the Colorado pipeline is not an oil line, it's a water line? Oh. Well, can't the governor of Colorado open the pipeline? He opened the 47, remember 47 opened the pipeline in California supposedly to put out the wildfires, but the pipeline that he opened didn't run to where the fires were, and it flooded the farmland. Not helpful. Not helpful. Darcia says, Crystal, he can, but he's not. They're inflicting unnecessary hardship on the American people. This is totally unnecessary. Roberta says, right, Sam? I'm waiting for that check from the pharmaceutical companies right after that Doge check. Yeah, we never did get our $2,000 Doge checks, did we? And I saw, and I hope it's AI generated, but I saw this little meme of Katie Miller standing next to her husband, and she was pregnant. And under the little meme, it says, Katie Miller is pregnant with Elon's baby. And I'm like, but Elon's babies are all from IVF. Like, what? I'm so confused. Crystal says, here's an article on it. Thank you, Crystal. Trump vetoes a bipartisan bill to fund clean water pipeline in southeastern Colorado. Oh, you know why? Because Colorado's a blue state. Remember, he wanted to move that factory from Colorado to Alabama? Colorado's a blue state. He's not going to give them anything. I had forgotten that. Yeah, anything that he can do to Minnesota, California, Colorado, he's going to do it. Now, if that was in Texas, he'd open it. Don't they have doesn't Congress have a thing that they can do to override his veto? Isn't there one step above the veto? Pebble says, some way I don't think they will pay for reconstruction. Our gov had always done that. Is this another thing like Mexican is going to pay for the wall? Same scenario. Chris says China can have the Vin oil. We can't. Okay, they can refine it, but we can't. Pebble says, Darcia, those are my thoughts too. Leslie says he needs to live on my EDD and live in my shoes, having to rant from friends who have a roof over my head. Oh, and having to rent from, why did I say rant? Um, he needs to live on my EDD and live in my shoes, having to rent from friends to have a roof over my head. But he's got Mar-a-Lago. Leslie says, I don't call that affordable. No, ma'am, that is not affordable. That is not affordable. It is not. Roberta says that's Trump math. from Trump University? Was that the math they were teaching? Chris says, my mom, the math teacher, said that math is just baloney. Tell your mom I agree with her. Darcia says, and by the way, did he send some immigrants to Venezuela and was supposed to give them money in the millions? My question is, why arrest him and his wife? Please explain. They arrested him and his wife, supposedly for drug trafficking. And didn't we send money down there too? Um, but he brought them up here to New York. So we are housing them and feeding them. He wants to put them on trial for their crimes. And in the meantime, he wants to send the oil companies down to Venezuela to start drilling the Venezuelan oil. And the last I heard, nobody had taken him up on that, but that was what he wanted to do. And that's the thing. They hadn't taken him up on it, but they gave him billions of dollars for the campaign. I'm confused. Chris says at some point Pepsi controlled the Colorado pipeline. Really? Is that where they got their spring water for their Pepsi? I don't know anything about it. Sam says Nancy Mace had a bill passed to open up the water pipelines to serve another 50,000, I think it was 50,000 people in Colorado, was passed without opposition in Congress and Senate, but Trump used one of his vetoes to veto it. Because Colorado's a blue state. And Nancy Mace is from South Carolina, and she was thinking about Colorado? Oh, my. Roberta says the Colorado pipeline is called the Arkansas River Project or something like that. It was begun under Biden, and he's vetoed the bill because they won't release Tina Peters when Boebert signed. They won't release Tina Peters. Then Boebert signed the Epstein bill. Oh my gosh, he's such a petty little man. Oh my gosh. He's so petty. He is so petty. You wonder what cabinet position he'll give Maduro. And yes, there is a way to veto his veto. Thank you. I was like, I was thinking there was another step above it. I remembered something. Woo me. No, sorry, not Mace. It was Boebert. She's laughing. They all look the same to me. I had forgotten about Boebert. Okay. If Congress passes by 2/3 vote, it's veto proof. Oh, so it has to go back to the floor? Yes, Sam, they all start to look alike. Yes, I forgot the big part. Boebert, I mean, really? Okay, okay. Oh my. Okay. Next on our plate, let me make sure I don't miss anything. And I do believe I have everything in the description. And if I don't, I will put it in there. They had, oh, okay. I have put, you know how when I look at things, I forget where I am and what I'm doing and what's happening. So I have started when I pass something that looks interesting, I put them on the community tab. So, and then I have to say something or they won't let me post it. So, Jasmine Crockett has started a new podcast. It's called Clock It with Crockett. And I forgot what she was talking about when we were doing this, but I said we're in trouble. It was from 2 days ago. So it was about Venezuela and what was going on there, and that Congress wasn't in session and nobody asked them about anything. And this was about Maduro and his wife landing at Stewart International Airport in New York. And then this was from when I was sick and we didn't have a live. So sometimes when something comes up and it's a something we can write about, then I'll put it up here and say, we can write about this or we can write a letter about this. And then when Marjorie said she was going to resign, I put up here, what's her motivation? Because she's resigning for a reason. There's something else going on. She didn't just resign because Trump wouldn't let her run for senator. There's something else behind that. Darcia says, now, what about the orange guy crime? So what they're saying, you can go to another country to arrest that president, but we can't arrest this president. Something just doesn't sound right. Actually, I think they should come over here and appropriate him and take him somewhere and put him on trial for, well, you know what? They don't even have to put him on trial for his crimes. He's already been convicted. He just needs to be sentenced. He's been convicted of 34 felonies. They just hemmed and hawed and dragged their feet until after the election because they didn't want to sentence a presidential candidate. They played that. DC, how can you forget call girl Boebert goes to Washington? Oh my goodness. Crystal says, when I see something about pipelines to do with water, I get excited because typically that is more work for us. Really? Okay. Okay. Kim, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. How are you? And what's happening up there in West Virginia? Oh, Chris says, don't forget the thummies. Ooh, Lord, that was a Freudian slip. Roberta says, you can thank SCOTUS for the no accountability. And somebody is writing a bill that SCOTUS should have an 18-year term limit, no longer life. And I agree, this should no longer be life. But I forgot who is constructing that, but they're going for 18 years. Leslie says, not to mention, felons are not able to vote for X amount of time, if I remember correctly. So I ask this: how was he able to run for the White House legally? Leslie, I was taught that too, and I had to go look it up. There, they go by state. Each state has their own law about felons voting, and he was allowed to vote in Florida. And he was allowed to run. Because I thought the same thing. I said, he can't run. He's a felon. He can't vote. He's a felon. Florida says, oh yeah, let him. Roberta says, has anyone seen the Jack Smith hearing? I have not. Yeah, it depends upon the state law. I have not seen Jack Smith because right now it's not going to do any good. Because 47 is going to say that it's his presidential duty, and it's not going to do any good. It's not going to do any good. Oh, I brought up the Google thing. I didn't. I forgot I had this on here, but and it's in the description. But this is LaMalfa. And they said he was having emergency surgery. I did not see what the surgery was and what happened and all that, but his seat is now open. Then we have this poor lady, and I was so upset about this. This is, oh, why did you switch over? Share this tab instead. And this is really something we need to concentrate on. This, okay, I got you on here. This poor lady was a midwife and an advocate for Black maternal health. And she died from childbirth complications. And the American College of Nurse Midwives called Dr. Green Smith's death a profound failure of the system meant to protect birthing people. This was her passion. This was her profession. And ultimately, it's what killed her. And not trying to be a bigot, but I want to throw out odds that if she had been white, she would not be dead. And they proudly called her the locked midwife. And she partnered with nonprofit organization and app Hive Impact Fund, which acts as a resource for parents during early childhood for Black Maternal Health Week. So they have a video on here about midwifery, and the link for this is in the description. And then, people talked about her, they loved her, and then she's got her doctorate in, I just lost it. The, Instagram. Oh, she's a, I forgot. Anyway, they have a GoFundMe. If anybody has any extra ducats or want to put it on the community to have. She was in her early 30s, and they have a GoFundMe to help raise money for her husband, Daquan, and for her newborn. She passed away January the 3rd, I believe. So that baby's only a couple of weeks old. But this is what we're facing in America in this time. We are not in a third world country, but we have women dying in childbirth. Kim says Trump was sentenced. It was an unconditional discharge, meaning he got a slap on the wrist. I thought they were delaying sentencing, and then when he got elected, they decided not to do it. It was an unconditional discharge. See, I need you in my chat. Chris says, who do I write so the Hague to arrest for? I don't know. I don't know. I guess we could Google The Hague. Florida is crazy like my state. I would ask, could we throw them out? But my state would have to go to, leaving me to be a refugee. No, we can't have you being a refugee. Oh my gosh. It's sad. Roberta says that's why he freaked out about the e-files. No immunity for that. Exactly. Exactly. Roberta says, and then they wonder why women don't want children anymore. That point. Mm-hmm. It's scary. Roberta says, Chris, I don't think we can. I think that comes down to the UN referral. And I think the UN is in on this Venezuela thing, and they're not happy. Crystal says, that is a damn shame, and that does take another BS claim that we can make. Oh, she was a poor woman. It wasn't her color. I doubt she was poor. Hope her passing isn't in vain. I hope her passing isn't in vain, and that is so sad. No, she was not a poor woman. She was an educated woman. She was a certified woman. She had gotten her doctorate, but she didn't. And she's a midwife. She's delivering babies. She's saving lives, but she did not receive the same amount of care that she was giving. And that's just a damn shame. Now this poor man has this baby. He's lost his wife. Now I wonder, is the orange guy going to arrest Putin? You know he's not. Because remember, Putin has the picture of him, you know what, on, I forgot what the nickname was. But he's got the video. He's got the picture of him. So no, he's not gonna do anything to Putin, because Putin will release that picture, and I for one don't want to see it. Roberta says, Darcia, you know he's not going to. There is a warrant out for him, but Trump has had lots of chances and he didn't. You think Putin is Bubba? Oh my God. That's just nasty. You really think Putin is Bubba? Can I call Brother Mark and ask him? Oh, I'm sorry. Brother Mark says he doesn't know who Bubba is. Darcy is laughing at Roberta. Bubba. Chris says, yep. You too? Oh, hell. Is that why he has the photo? Crystal's laughing at Roberta. I bet you're right. Is that why he has the photo? Because it's a photo of him. Oh my gosh. You know, Jasmine said that he was Putin's BI. And Sam is laughing. Putin, you can't go there. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, ooh. I never considered that. I wonder how we could find out if Putin was in this country at that time. Because he wouldn't fly commercial. Every place has a Bubba. That's it. Oh my gosh. Because well, we don't even know what that date is. I wonder how we could find out if he was in the country. Oh, that'd be interesting. Maybe the flight logs. I bet he flies private. I bet he flies private. But and and that is another thing that we can write to them, that it is not safe for women to deliver babies in this era because they're dying. And physicians are really afraid to do a whole lot because they don't want to lose their licenses. And we're losing women unnecessarily. And then they want to talk about there's a drop in the birth rate. But they don't care about our birth rate. They care about their birth rate, but still, they're dying too. Roberta says, I think Trump was in Europe at the time. Oh my. Yeah, because he used to go visit Ivanka's family. Well, let's see. Congress would have them, wouldn't they? Yes, I know that's the wrong there. I meant in the. Oh. Ding, 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 ding. Crystal, you're so smart. Yes, Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs have been made public through multiple legal proceedings and government disclosures. In 2025, the U.S. Department of Justice released massive tranches? I don't think they mean tranches of these records following the passage of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, which mandated the declassification of all investigative materials related to Epstein. Oh. No, I'm not a robot. And I did not play one on TV. Oh. We got this. Yeah, we got this. Can I make this bigger? U.S. versus Maxwell. Really? But it doesn't say who was on there. It gives you remarks, procedures, maneuvers, and endorsements. But it doesn't say, oh, wait a minute. It tells you departure and arrival, but it does not tell you who the passenger was. So that, oh, I take that back. Epstein and Anderson, Pax, Christie. Oh yeah, this will be. If you are interested, because wait a minute, how many pages are on here? There's 118 pages. If you're interested in sorting through the 118 pages, here is the link. There's 118 pages. Good gracious of me. Chris says, look at shipping info because private yachts have to file logs. Oh my. He and the prince and Putin. Oh, that's right. They don't even care. They just want control of women. That's true too. I know for a fact taking away the right to abortion has slowed down young white females from wanting children. I have heard it a lot. Oh, I'm glad they're taking precautions. Yeah, they're getting their freak on, Darcia. They are taking the midwife tales too seriously. Berta says, to be fair, DC, the no children thing had started long before the abortion hullabaloo, but now younger women are not even taking that risk anymore. Yeah, because before it was women wanting to get their careers established first, and then they were thinking about children, but now they're like, that it is just, it's just nasty. So now men are crying they can't get a partner. Well, when you vote against a woman's best interest, you're not going to get a woman. I agree, Roberta, but I have even heard younger conservative women say that to my shock. Ooh, the conservatives even? I am shocked. So, the way to turn conservative men from Trump is explain that it's Trump's seed blocking them. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Sam says, I recall those flight logs being released and don't recall them ever mentioning Putin before. And if a dying spy can be believed, he claimed Putin likes little boys. Say he saw photos. I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. He might have been experimenting and decided that that was not for him. He might have just been experimenting and he's like, yeah, no, sorry. You're old and fat. Yeah, no. Oh gosh. Well, ladies, anything else you would like to talk about before we bid adieu? We've got 4 open seats. Yay! We got to fill those seats. Roberta says Putin likes both. That's why I said he's Bubba. Okay. Does make sense. It really does. Crystal says, I think Trump was one of the 10 co-conspirators with you. Oh yeah, that's no doubt. That's why he's fought so hard to, because when he said it was a campaign promise, he didn't think anybody was going to hold him to it. Now that they have held him to it, and he realizes how involved he was, yeah, he doesn't want anybody to know that. Does that mean does that meant qualifies as a little boy? No, no. It's his persuasion. For someone that said I had no words, I found a lot. Yeah, usually when you say you lurk, you don't. But that's okay. Do you have a funny for our going away or going home or logging off? I don't know what we're doing. Chris, a 2-year old in an 82-year-old body. Ooh, that is funny. That is funny. With his cankles. Mm-hmm. That's funny. Oh, well, Chris is laughing. Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, if you're a trafficker or a pedo, I'm not gonna say it correctly because I don't want to be zapped. You can get away with anything in this country, and it's really, 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 really sad. Crystal says, I laugh at him saying he is in perfect health. No one my age is perfect. Uh, much less 80. Shaking my damn. Yeah, he's not in good health. He's not in good mind. He's yeah. Mind, body, and spirit. Everybody, have a blessed rest of your day. Thank you so much for coming by. Thanks for everything that you've done. Oh, and before we sign off, I forgot to do this earlier. Let's give a moment of silence for those brave Capitol policemen and DC policemen who lost their life 5 years ago today for January the 6th. Oh, and Susan stopped by just in time to give a moment of silence. Thank you. It's going to get better. Everybody be safe out there. Thank you, Susan, and hi to your sister. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.